All right, let's dive into a topic that so many of us have unfortunately dealt with: acid reflux. We're going to be talking about taming that fire, and specifically how a simple cup of herbal tea might just be the natural relief you've been looking for.
You know the feeling, right? That awful burning sensation creeping up your chest. It is so frustrating, and it can totally ruin your day. It really makes you wonder, could the answer actually be something as simple and comforting as a warm cup of tea?
And the answer is yes, it absolutely can. But, and this is a really big but, you have to choose the right one. This is one of those situations where the right choice can soothe and heal, but the wrong one can feel like you're pouring gasoline on the fire. So choosing wisely is everything.
So how does this all work? What's the magic behind it? Let's get into the why, because once you understand what makes a tea effective against reflux, you'll be able to make smart choices for yourself.
Okay, so it really boils down to this. A tea that actually helps with reflux usually has one of three superpowers. First, it can help neutralize acid because it's alkaline. Second, it can calm down all that irritation because it's anti-inflammatory. Or third, it can literally protect your esophagus. That's what mucilaginous means. It's a fancy word for creating a soothing, protective layer.
Now that we know what we're looking for, let's meet the good guys. I want to introduce you to 5 herbal heroes, your new best friends in the quest to calm that burn.
First up, we've got a heavy hitter, one you probably already have in your kitchen: ginger. You can think of ginger as the stomach's personal firefighter. So ginger has this awesome two-part punch. First, it's alkaline, so it helps to just dial down the acidity. And second, it has these amazing compounds called gingerols that are fantastic at calming inflammation. Now, here's a super important warning. More is not better. For some people, too much ginger can actually trigger heartburn, so you want to start small and see how you feel.
Our next ally is pretty famous for helping us relax and sleep, but guess what? It does the same thing for our digestive system. Let's talk about chamomile, the ultimate soother.
Chamomile is just fantastic. It works by relaxing the actual muscles in your stomach and esophagus, which helps stop those painful spasms. It's also a gentle anti-inflammatory and might even help lower your stomach acid levels overall. This makes it an absolute go-to if your reflux gets worse with stress or if it loves to show up right when you're trying to go to sleep.
Okay, our third hero acts less like a firefighter and more like a personal bodyguard for your esophagus. It's time to meet licorice root.
Licorice root is so cool. It actually encourages your body to produce more of its own protective mucus lining in your throat. This builds up a natural shield against that harsh stomach acid. But listen up, this is critically important. If you have high blood pressure, you absolutely must use the DGL form of licorice. DGL stands for deglycyrrhizinated licorice. It's had the compound that raises blood pressure removed.
All right, next up, we've got a tag team that works in a really direct way. Let's look at the dynamic duo of soothing coders, slippery elm and marshmallow root.
These 2 herbs are what's known as demulcents. Sounds kind of technical, but all it means is they have this stuff called mucilage. When you add hot water, that mucilage turns into this thick, soothing gel. As you drink the tea, that gel literally coats your throat, your esophagus, and your stomach, creating a physical barrier that acid just can't get through. It's pretty amazing.
And for our 5th and final ally, we've got an herb that comes at the problem from a totally different angle. Instead of just fighting the acid, it helps relieve the pressure that causes it in the first place. Let's talk about fennel.
See, a lot of reflux happens because there's just too much pressure from gas and bloating in your stomach, pushing everything upwards. Well, fennel is a rock star at reducing that pressure. It helps with gas, it eases those uncomfortable stomach contractions, and it even helps your stomach empty a little faster. Less pressure down below means less chance of acid coming up.
Okay, we've met the heroes, but like in any good story, there are also villains, and in this case, they are imposters. These are teas that seem like they should help, but they're secretly waiting to make your reflux so much worse. Now, this is maybe the most important thing to get right. You see, while a tea like chamomile calms things down in a good way, peppermint does something very, very different. It relaxes the muscle at the top of your stomach, the lower esophageal sphincter, or LES. Think of it like a little gateway. Peppermint tells that gateway to just open up, making it super easy for acid to splash right out. It's the exact opposite of what you want.
And peppermint isn't alone here. Spearmint does the exact same thing to that little gateway muscle, so that's on the avoid list too. And of course, there's caffeine, a well-known trigger for reflux that you'll find in all your standard black, green, and white teas. So the golden rule is simple.
Stick with caffeine-free herbal options only. We've gone over the heroes to look for and the imposters to avoid. So, to wrap all this up, let's go through a few final but crucial words of wisdom to make sure you're doing this safely.
Please, please, please remember these 3 golden rules. Number 1, listen to your body. Everyone is different, and what works for me might not work for you. Number 2, if a tea makes you feel worse, stop drinking it. It really is that simple. And finally, number 3, if you have persistent chronic reflux or you're on any kind of medication, you have to check with your doctor before you start any new herbal routine. That part is non-negotiable.
So, there you have it. You know the allies, you know the imposters, and you know the rules of the road. You officially have the guide to taming the flam. The only question left is, what's your first step going to be?